Live 3x3. Welcome to another week. Welcome. I'm going to give y'all a moment to come in, but you saw the title of the video. Without further hesitation, let's jump right in, shall we? You don't owe him anything. Ladies, this one I'm going to be talking about. I had a conversation with a client this week, and she was asking me a question. She's talking to a guy, dating, and she had a question. She's considering going out, actually lining up a date in the guy's city with another guy. So the question came up, am I betraying him? She asked me. So in this conversation, in this dialogue, I really had to get clear for her, you don't owe him a goddamn thing. Even the fact that you would question it, the context that there's a lack of clarity, that it's something you're even confused on, nah. So in this discussion, we're going to dive in and give you some clarity on how to navigate the pressures, the expectations that come up in the world of dating when the man is not leading, when he's not clear. As I often say, you don't have responsibility as the feminine in the dynamic, in the dance. But we're going to dive into that in this next 30 minutes here or more. So sit back, relax. Let me lead you through it. So another side of this conversation that comes up for women, friends, dating, whatever the context, is the pressure, right? Feminine women are in tune with the connection, in tune with how others feel, nurturing relationships and dynamics. And so there's pressure, social pressure to perform, behave, show respect inside of the dating world, dealing with men, dealing with relationships, even familial and professional. But we're going to keep it in the romantic space tonight, strictly off of what came up for my client. And so I really want to give you the clarity of when and where it is appropriate to do that, because there is a space, right? As the feminine partner, you do hold the reins, the experience, the emotional intelligence, the access really to navigate the relationship. That is in the realm of the feminine. But how much of that is really your responsibility? And when there's that lack of clarity, because there's so much behind that question, am I betraying him? This guy that my client was dating. So with that, let me take a step back. I am coachduwaynelangham, the architect, teaching you the ways of masculine men and how to get what you want, ladies, in the dating, relationships, and this is going to be inside of your divine feminine energy. You just tuned in for another live. And before we actually jump in to unpack why you don't owe him anything, and how can you respond to his expectations, to the pressures that come up socially that women end up under, I'm going to need you to do a few things for me. You are going to get a little bit of pressure from me, just a request before I humbly offer up. I need you to go ahead and make sure you hit that like, share, bring everybody in that you can, especially while we're here on this live here. I want to get the crowd up, get the comments in there. By the way, if you do have questions, drop them down below. A lot of these topics and conversations come up from the comments, from the feedback, from the additional questions from the content I put out here over on YouTube, over on Instagram. So I greatly appreciate the interaction. Thank you, as always, for showing up, engaging with your boy. And before we get started, make sure to do that for me. If you haven't already, if you've already followed, subscribe, fantastic. If not, make sure you do that. You're going to want to grab your copy of The Dance, Mastering the Rhythm of Modern Love. I'm going to go as deep as I can in this topic, but I really want to give you my framework and approach to navigating dating, escalating to relationships, and how to maintain those relationships for life partnership. And that's exactly what you'll get inside of my ebook. So after you take care of that, we're going to jump right in and get started. So let me first start with who this is for. I always have to give this disclaimer. I want to make sure not to waste your time, not to waste mine, and make sure this is applicable. So you are in the right place if you're a woman looking to embrace your femininity, seeking relationships with grounded, masculine men. I'm all about the MGM status, mature, grounded, masculine man. It is a rare find out in the world these days, and I'm out to refine that. I'm shining this light on the mountaintop for you ladies to tune into your divine energy, and also for my brothers, the fellas over there, to start leading and marching inside of their masculine and showing up for you inside of the dating world. So that is what I'm all about here. And if that's what you're wanting and looking for, you're in the right place. Now, you're also in the right place if you're not sure, what are we? Ladies, don't you love that question? Isn't that the fun of it? You know something's interesting if you got to ask yourself, what are we? No, I'm playing. I totally understand that's not the place you want to be. Confusion, lack of clarity. These are some of the problems that are coming up, and maybe it's not you. We'll dive in. Or if you're in a relationship and you don't want to upset the apple cart, or they rock the apple cart, whatever that phrase is. You're not trying to rock the boat. You don't want to risk losing him. If you're in either of these situations and you're feeling the emotional pressure, you're feeling like it's all on you, you're feeling like you got to have all the right answers, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, does any of this sound like fun in dating and relationships? I mean, I'm here for us to win, right? Not about the gender wars, not about pointing the finger, not about pushing the blame over on the other side of the fence. I'm all about you winning. So if any of this applies to you, if any of this is of interest, I'm loving the comments coming in. Oh man, I got my phone propped up here, but love life, shout out. I can't even see your comments, but thank you for being here. Thank you for chiming in. Ooh, matter of fact, okay, we're gonna have to work on that. I got something propping the phone up so I can't see the bottom text, but I'm loving the comments coming in. That's what we need. I'll stop and check in with that before we're done. But like I said, if any of these scenarios apply to you, you're in the right place. This is what we're going to be diving into. We're going to go deep inside of it. And I want you to understand, by the title of this video, you don't owe him anything. That was the clarity that I had to give my client, because the way she was asking, did I betray him? She was going to feel guilty. And mind you, I'm the one who coached her. Enjoy your dating life. You are not in a relationship. You don't owe him anything. You're free to roam and play. I want to tell you, this here's another way you'll know if this applies to you. If you've ever had a guy in that base space, and I'm going to elaborate, that's my own distinction, but you find yourself operating, you may be dating, not in anything even exclusively dating or a relationship, but for some reason you are considering this man, you are calculated about this man, you're thinking about this man, so on and so forth. But I have to wake you up and ask, what are you? Is he your man? Is he somebody for you to be giving, is he living in your mind rent free? Is what I'm really asking. Because that's where you start to ask, am I betraying him? Because my response to her when she asked me, am I betraying him? What if I'm over in his town and he sees me? What if one of his friends sees me? If he were to see me with this other man, did I betray him? I'm like, sweetie, how do you betray a friend? The fuck? Anyway, just my thoughts. But let's dive in here. Let's look at it. So why does this happen? Oh, by the way, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you my 3 tools, tips, if you will, on how to navigate this space. If you ever end up here in a relationship, outside of a relationship, dating, whatever, I'm going to give you what you need today. So stick around to the end to make sure to get that piece. But let's start with, how does this all happen? How does it kick off? How do you end up in this scenario? You're going to like this part. All right, first things first. It's his fault. No. I'm not about fault or blame, but responsibility. Masculine leads, feminine follows. Disclaimer to that, my work is divine energy. If this is your first time here, I'm inside of the divine energies, masculine and feminine. I've got both, you've got both, we've all got all of it. But when it comes to that, right, somebody's got to lead. Somebody's got to make decisions. Somebody's got to initiate. Feminine energy follows, but the only way you're responsible in the beginning is invitation. Giving him the eye contact, letting him sense your energy, putting yourself in proximity, the invitation for him to engage by doing what? Initiating, stepping up, approaching, going for what he wants, showing interest, all the ways that it happens, that's on him. And if you end up in this space where you're wondering, what are we? Would I be betraying him? Is this wrong? Am I bad? All those feelings, trust me, my client was breaking it all down. I know how you feel, ladies. One thing I want to get you clear on, this is happening because he is not clear. He's either not clear for himself or he's not clearly communicated to you his intentions or where he sees you fitting into his life. Now, from the beginning, first date, first couple of conversations, likely after the first date, when you actually have an interaction, at best, I enjoyed this. I like to see you again. I mean, it doesn't require much, but those are clear intentions. Obviously, the approach is the initial initiation, inviting for the date, asking for the number, escalating to a FaceTime call, so on and so forth. And I speak to all of these ladies because these are each individual opportunities for him to lead, for him to initiate. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're not with it, if that's not for you, if you can't wait, you can do what you want to do. I'm not telling you right or wrong. I'm not telling you good or bad. And it sets precedent. It sets things in motion, right? When I say that invitation, welcoming in, initiation, masculine energy forward, that's a different dynamic. That conditions your dynamic for what you can experience. You're going to expect, remember we're talking about those expectations? I'm going to get you to understand that it's really all flipped over there with him. As a mature, grounded, masculine man, it is his responsibility, every aspect of the relationship, and I hope you appreciate that by the end of this conversation. But I really want to make it clear that you're in this situation because of him. Please, ladies. Feminine exhale. That's what I love to call it. Relax. Take it easy. You don't have to get it right. And so by doing that, by relaxing to allow him to initiate, to allow him to move things forward, to allow him to escalate, you also get the opportunity to rest, to be easy. How do you get anything wrong? How do you mess it up if it was never up to you? Maybe you don't need to worry about if it's moving forward. Maybe you don't need to, escalate things or gain clarity into a relationship because he's not that serious about you, because it's not that serious, or he hasn't had the time yet, whatever the case may be. But I'm really reiterating and doubling down that it's the ball. That ball is not in your court. And the sooner you can relax and let go of that, the sooner you can flow into your feminine, the sooner you will open yourself up, allowing and making yourself available so that that feminine flower of yours really blossoms. What's really at the core of that? The pressure. When that pressure and expectation is there for you to show up, behave, move things forward, whatever pressure you may feel to honor something up here, right? Stories, conditioning, social programming, whatever. That's restricting your feminine flower. If you can imagine rose petals, they need to blossom, they need to open, they need to flow with the wind, right? It's a beautiful thing to be enjoyed. It's delicate. Well, if that's under pressure, what happens when you put pressure on what they call stomping daisies? Crushes it. It can't stand it. So it has to harden. It brings out your masculine energy, masking your feminine. And so there's a time and a place for everything. Taking care of your kids, working your job, your career, whatever that is, living your life, absolutely. In this dating space, if you're looking to relax, if you're looking to have a masculine man show up, take the lead, step up, you're going to have to give him the space in the room. So we're going to start unpacking and unprogramming the things that get in the way of that. So first thing, like I said, it's all over there with him. He's the one who's not clear. Now, what's another thing that can show up when it comes to especially the performing and behaving? He's immature. He can't contain for your emotions. Now, I want to be responsible with that. We do all have to be adults. We do all need to bring our emotional intelligence. We do need to communicate, use our words, express our thoughts, not just our feelings. And with that, a mature, grounded, masculine man, that MGM status, see, I already got it in there. Immature men, they don't qualify. That's not who we're talking about. That's not what we're looking for. And mature, grounded, masculine men can contain emotions. Why? He's that grounded rock. He's solid. He's not frazzled by emotions. He can handle, he's comfortable with women. He knows how to lead women. He's good with that pressure. Masculine thrives in that. Let me pump my chest. Let me show how big and bad I am. That it's not supposed to be bravado, something to show off, that false front. You know what I'm talking about. Masculine thrives in being of service, being of use, being of good, right? Of utility. He wants to do that. He wants to show up in that way. And when you give him the opportunity, which I'm going to talk about towards the end, even with your emotions, he gets to show up for you. And also, the reverse, why you want to relax and let this happen is because you get to qualify. Because this is giving you micro examples. This is why you test us, ladies, because you need to know, can I trust this motherfucker? Does he got me? Are we good? Is he really here for me? Is he serious about me? Does he see my value? Does he know my worth? Can I trust his lead? Can I follow him? Can I, dare I say it, submit? Well, for the right, mature, grounded, masculine man that is meant to lead your life, who is honored at the opportunity and wants to be of service, wants to own the space, not own you as property, but own the space that you're respected, that you're cherished, that you're cared for. Provide, protect, and cherish. This is divine masculine energy we're talking about. So these are some of the things that he would naturally step into. And if not, cut him, disqualified. Y'all already know right here on this channel, you can go look it up right now. Director's chair. That is my distinction. You are sitting back with your script, line full of people coming into audition. Next. Nope, that didn't. Don't call us. We'll call you. Thank you. All right, come on in. Which, obviously, like I can tell you, the client I was talking to, she's going on another date for a guy that she's been talking to for a few months. And inside of that few months, he has not brought the clear intention. He has not satisfied what she's looking for. And they are not exclusively dating or in a relationship. She owes him nothing, and neither do you. So let me keep moving along here. So you're left prioritizing a dynamic that hasn't been made clear. That's how you got here. Like I said, base space. You're holding space as if this is your guy, this is your man. Now, he might be somebody you're interested in. You might have high hopes. You may really want it to be successful, go some places, think he can make you happy, so on and so forth. And that's great. And ladies, unfortunately, if he hasn't made this clear, I would invite you to take a step back, because again, sets precedent. That's exactly what you can expect going forward. It sets a precedent and expectation that you're going to be the one initiating, you're going to be the one engaging, you're going to be the one pushing things forward. You're going to be left unclear when the shit hits the fan, when we really need to take care of some stuff as a household, as a couple, as a family, as parents, etc. You can expect to be left unclear. You can expect pretty much to fend for yourself, to be uncovered in a way, if you will. So I'm painting the picture here, but I hope you really get it. How we end up here, what are some of the gaps, because I want to quickly shift over and get you into what to fix it. I'm making these nice, digestible. Let me know how you like it. I've done 90 minutes. I can be in here going. This is my sandbox. 45 minutes, an hour, 60 minutes, and I'm trying to keep it tight, right at about 30 minutes, give you some digestible, applicable. Remember, you got the 3 steps at the end so that you know exactly what you need to do today to not end up in this situation and have solutions for the next time it shows up. So before we continue on, before we wrap up this live here, and why you don't owe him anything, and I give you the steps that you can take to make sure that you are in the clear to just relax. You ain't gotta worry about that shit. You don't owe nobody nothing. Before we do that though, you owe me something. I've given you a little value, and before I give you the gold, the good stuff at the end, I want you to go ahead, go over to the Stand Store, check out, absolutely free, Deep Dive into the Divine. This is my ebook that's going to walk you through divine masculine and feminine energy. If you're looking to understand your man, if you're looking to understand yourself, understand these divine energies that run everything. Once you have these filters, you can start to look at every dynamic in your life. Professional, platonic, familial, romantic, doesn't matter. These are at play with your best friends, same sex, it doesn't matter. Sex and gender is not a part of it. But the quicker you can understand these divine energies, the quicker you can actually put them to use inside of your life and start getting the results that you want. So without further ado, let's get right to it. You want these 3 tips. And I'm going to lay it out pretty easy because I want you to be able to let him step up and lead the way. So the first thing you're going to have to do to let him be the man, step up and lead, so that you're not in a scenario wondering, am I betraying him? What are we? Is this okay? Is that okay? Was I too much? That question alone, I've helped quite a few ladies that, I relate to the world of the feminine, a good feminine woman who wants a relationship, wants to do right by a man, and also doesn't want to be too much because you've been told that your whole life. And I say that as a girl dad with two daughters. My youngest 10 years old, and I love it, and I know it all too well. That flowing femininity, the emotion, the energy, things that you cannot contain. I've helped so many women just to come and understand, even in their family dynamic. This is why I speak to it, because that's where at the source, your first masculine example, dad maybe, was trying to get you to be mature, to grow up, to handle things, and not like the boys don't cry thing, and with that limited capacity to manage, past generations, traumas and everything, not able to be with your emotions, not able to handle that. And that plants a seed that maybe I'm too much. Maybe my feelings are bad. Maybe my emotions don't have place. Your feelings are always valid. The thing you want to have emotional intelligence to is whether or not they're appropriate. That's in your own personal life. When it comes to this over here, remember I said the responsibilities over there with him. So we're going to walk through how you let him step up and lead so that you have clarity, so that there's no confusion. And you'll be absolutely clear. Am I too much? Am I, what are we? Am I betraying him? No. So first thing you got to do is be okay to let the feelings fly. That's why I want to start to open up your eyes to correct any of that early programming, any of the past relationships, interactions where you've been labeled as too much. So you are too much, but not in a bad way. You're just too much for him. You see that flip? It takes it where something could be a blame, something could be a bad thing, and I want you to really accept this, to really own this. The man that is meant for you, again, MGM status, mature, grounded, masculine man, can contain for your emotions. So you are not too much for him. Now, why I say be okay with letting the feelings fly, because I'll tell you this secret, ladies. The right man with the maturity, with the emotional intelligence, and the experience with women and feminine energy will appreciate your differences. Now, I want to be clear, that doesn't mean he's going to be smiles when you're having a temper tantrum. That doesn't mean he's going to be nonchalant, carefree when you're teary, emotional, like really feeling something, touched, moved, inspired, or just having a tough time in life. What that means is that he can contain it. And by that doesn't mean that he's right there with you crying along. That doesn't mean that, you're triggered, say something, he's triggered, popping right back off. That can happen. And mature, grounded, masculine man is emotionally intelligent and also grounded in his masculinity. Because let me flip it over to the other side. Masculine energy could give a fuck less about the emotions. This is why the maturity is important. Because as that grounded rock, he's able to be with that swirl, the chaos, the emotions, the laughter, the joy, the tears, crying, upset, whatever, fear, anxiety. He can be with all of it because he's a grounded rock. It doesn't faze him. It doesn't matter to him. He needs to stay grounded inside to navigate his own life. Now with you, he also has the maturity to appreciate your differences. And to that regard, I'll tell you, as a mature, grounded, masculine man, while I do not enjoy, if it turns into a fight, I do not enjoy the hostility of what they call it, a heated exchange, high volume conversation, all of those things. It is rewarding to know and fulfilling to experience, one, being able to contain, hold all that down, baby, I got you, it's cool. So if I hear you right, you're feeling this, got it, that's not the case, it's not the situation. I understand why you would feel that way. That's what containment looks like. You can be saying whatever you need to say to me, and I can be there and hear it. It doesn't mean that I own it. It doesn't mean that I make it truth. Again, your feelings are valid, but are they appropriate? See, as a leader, he's taking your concerns, everything into consideration. However, it doesn't take him out of the game. It doesn't take him out of the conversation. It doesn't take him over such that he's reacting, not even responding. So again, for the man that's meant for you, and if you go by the MGM standard I preach, mature, grounded, masculine, he can contain and be ready and prepared for those emotions. So you can't be too much. Let them fly. I'm going to tell you why you want to do that, because that's number 2. This is the opportunity for you to indirectly, because feminine is not direct. Oh, you soft, you a punk, you can't handle these emotions, I keep upsetting you. No, that's direct. Calm down with all that. But what you do is use these opportunities for miscommunication. Use these opportunities where feelings go flying. Maybe he gets triggered on something. Maybe he does see you out there on a date with another guy at a restaurant. Now he may feel some type of way. He may bring this to communication. This is another reason why I say be okay to let the feelings fly. That's a good thing, ladies, because he's invested, because he cares. I'm going to give you something into the world of masculine. Now be careful, because feminine nature, that dark cat energy, you're not looking to be manipulative, and you are influencing. That's why I say indirect. By you going on that date, that's a wake-up call for him. See, on the other side, for masculine, we have to experience to learn. He may think everything's fine and dandy. He may think you're the apple of his eye, you are his world, and he's ready and wants to build with you. Maybe he's not skilled enough to communicate that. Maybe he hasn't conveyed that properly. Or he's just left it from inexperience, left it blank, left it to be guessed. When he sees you out there dating, when he sees you on the apps, when he sees you with somebody else, when he sees you're available on the market, if you're what he wants, he will proceed. He will go forward. Competition, masculine. Oh wait, no, that's me. What? Hold up, pimp. And I don't mean confrontational. What I mean is that you'll notice as you pull back, as you allow that space that he has not claimed you, it gives him the opportunity indirectly. You didn't say, well, you left me out here on the market. You're free as a butterfly in your dating world doing you, and this came up. You're feeling your emotions and you're comfortable enough to express it, and this came up. So you're getting to indirectly point out where he's left you without clarity, where you need to see if he can handle your emotion or if you are too much for him. So when this comes up, this is just another test to get a sense of his conflict resolution, his communication, his emotional intelligence. You can't see those things until they come up. I know, ladies, you always want to ask a hypothetical. What would you do with this? How do you feel about this? And this kind of gives you a gauge. It's hypothetical. Even for us on the other side, as men, imagining, made up fairy tale, well, I guess in that scenario. But I'll tell you, the rubber meets the road. You see what a man's made of when it comes time to get down and dirty, and especially when it comes to emotions, because it's a pretty clear line. There's men who are impacted by their emotions, cannot control their emotions. They react inside of their emotions, and they're almost no different from you. That's no knock. You're feminine. Anyone who's embracing and flowing in their feminine, that is the emotional side of the energy. We all have that. The thing is, if his masculine hasn't matured, doesn't have that capacity, he's going to show you right away, because he's going to be caught right along there with you. And what is two people with no grounding, again, like I said, somebody's got to lead. That's an indicator that he's not the one for you. So again, that number 2, use the opportunities to indirectly point out where he can step up and lead. If he's left you without clarity, behave so. I don't know that we're anything. Are we dating? Is this exclusive? Oh yeah, I've got plans on Saturday. I'm going to be going out with a friend. You don't, huh? What? Oh, well, I thought you and I could, let's have a conversation, about what? And what happened to that what are we conversation? Not necessary. Indirectly. You're not making a complaint. You're not asking it, so what are we? What are we doing here? Is this... No. If he hasn't left that clear, it gives you the opportunity to continue operating business as usual until, again, you're giving him the opportunity to step up and lead. I hope this is making it clear for you. So I want to go ahead and bring it home. Number 3. It's really simple, lady. Put it to the test. Stop trying to avoid upsets in relationships. Stop walking on eggshells of whether or not it'll be too much, stifling your self-expression, restricting who you are. Here's my advice to any client, male or female, the quickest way to your ideal relationship is to get butt naked with your partner as soon as possible. You see the smile, you know I gotta elaborate on that. So what I mean by that is literally, in a way, and metaphorically, getting butt naked, dropping the walls, dropping the protection, dropping all the things we do to avoid the conflict and everything. Actually put yourself and the dynamic to the test. Now, please don't be a drama queen. Don't seek the drama. Don't incite it. You know, that's not the way you want to influence with your black cat and divine feminine energy. But what I'm saying is to avoid restricting yourself. Avoid holding back. Avoid, again, walking on eggshells like you can't be yourself. That feminine flower, free and flowing. And if he doesn't cultivate and create that, I assert, ladies, he's not the one for you, because remember, this is going to set precedent. Do you want to be 5 years in, 50 years in, walking on eggshells? Trying not to upset the relationship, avoiding a fight. Why are fights so problematic? Communication, discussions, disagreements. Yeah, what's wrong with that? But fights? Can't really be yourself, is that it sets precedent. So as bad as you want a relationship, as interested as you are in this guy, the pressure's off of you. Just be yourself. No different than you try and tell men. For yourself, just be yourself. If he can't handle you, if you're too much for him, find out sooner than later. If he's making things unclear, you can't tell if he really has interest, find out sooner than later. And I say this again just to bring it home, it is not your responsibility. These interactions are needed to test his capacity to lead you to. If you never give it the chance, you'll never know. Feminine answers the question, what is life? Masculine answers the question, who am I? That's that grounded rock. And the feminine is flowing, what is life? What is life behind this man's lead? What is life when I'm doing it on my own? What is life being a single mother? What is life in my career? What is life with my family? What is life? So you want to give the opportunity to give yourself the sense, the experience of what this man is about and what he'll bring into your life, because this is setting precedent. This is a trial run. This is the warm-up, and this is what you can expect in the future. So ladies, there it is. 3 simple things. Really, because there's no responsibility on your end. This is the same thing I'm preaching and teaching to my guys. It's the same thing I'm preaching and teaching to you ladies I work with. So going back over that again, number 1, be okay to let those feelings fly. Do not be reckless, that's what I'll say. Carefree, that you say anything, do anything. By that I'm speaking to insulting. Come on. The golden rule, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. That's really all I'm speaking to. But within that, let go of the pressure that you need to hold yourself back. As long as there's communication, as long as there's responsibility somewhere and you're putting it over there. No different than, again, you can initiate, escalate, go for the number, set up the date, do all these things. However, if you want to flow into your femininity, if you want a mature, grounded, masculine man in your life, you're going to need to allow the space for him to step up and lead. So be okay with those feelings, because this is the way you get to test, butt naked, can this man handle your emotions? Can this man contain you safely? Can you trust him? Find that out as soon as possible. Number 2, use those opportunities to indirectly point out the gaps in what is needed. This is how you get what you want without nagging, without pointing a finger, without making it his problem or burden. But it is his responsibility if he wants to lead you, if he wants to be with you, if he wants access to you. So give him those opportunities and tests. Utilize these warm-ups before you get to the big game, right? And last but not least, ladies, put it to the test. Stop trying to hold yourself back, to restrict yourself, to make yourself smaller, to dim your light for him. If he's the one for you, he wants you to shine. He wants you to be your most bright, vibrant self. I talked about that grounded masculine rock. And remember, inside of maturity, he appreciates the polarity. He appreciates the chaos and the unknown. Now that is not, again, havoc. Chaos is just simply unknown, uncertain, and in the full spectrum of feminine range of emotion, all of it, laughter, tears, upset, joy, he wants all of that. As a masculine man myself, button down, tighten up, on point, all day. Get around my lady, dancing, playing, flirting, touching, smells, sensations. I need the life of it because I've been so buttoned down. And ladies, you the same way. You're holding down your own life. You're taking care of the kids. You're running your life in the same way, your career and everything that makes your life spin. So it's time for you to let down your hair. It's time for you to kick your feet up. It's time for you to relax and enjoy when a mature, grounded, MGM status, masculine man shows up into your life. Let him be a man and let him lead. So with that, that's it, ladies. These have been my 3 tips going into this conversation. If you've ever asked yourself, am I betraying him? What are we? Am I too much? Not at all. Come back to this conversation, hit the replay if you need. Use those 3 steps and actually put yourself, the dynamic, and him to the test to see if you can make it for the long run and if he's the man for you. And with that, ladies, I'm going to be right here, being the best version of myself until our next live. Again, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, grab a copy of that book. Like I said, The Dance, Mastering the Rhythm of Modern Love will give you all of my frameworks into understanding, attaining, and maintaining solid relationships in this day and age. If you've got a deeper question that you haven't already dropped down in the comments, give me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. Make sure to check out the store, book a consultation. Let's talk one-on-one. You've got questions, I've got answers. I'm gonna be right here, being the best version of myself. One could say beyond empowered. The question is, ladies, who are you going to be? Peace. YouTube dropping off. Holla at you.